Hello, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to do resistance training, completing the cycle of 3 resistance training days. Today we're going to do legs. Legs are important to maintain a fast level of mobility, an ability to move in and out, avoiding our opponent's attacks, moving in to deliver our attacks, the ability to spring up fast on our knees, delivering knee strikes, kicks, and the ability to check kicks on our shins and maintain our balance with the strength of our legs. If our legs aren't strong enough, we will be slow moving in and out, and we'll be sluggish on our defense and weak on our attack. So leg training is an essential part of any training for a complete martial artist. So today we're going to do the resistance training, part of our cycle for our legs. It's going to begin with a high bar squat. We're going to do these high bar squats using some straps connected to our chinning bar at the ceiling, or a strong anchor point. 2 nylon straps, each with a 200 odd kilo load rating, so plenty of load for our squat. We can squat in safety to a point of failure. I'm going to take a wooden pad, 1.5 inches in thickness, place it underneath my heels. I'm going to take my bar across the back of my shoulders and move forward onto my wooden pad in a narrow stance. A narrow stance is to prevent my knees flaring out, allow myself to maintain a good solid tension on my quadriceps. And I'm going to sink down into my lowest position. I'm going to maintain that position for a second, paused in the full extension of the quad, and then I'm going to stand up, keeping my lower back flexed underneath me, keeping my chest up and my spine straight, shoulder blades contracted, and I'm going to do, in the higher rep ranges, around 20 reps. And I'm going to emphasize the bottom position, come up to the top, try not to maintain a lockout of the knees for too long, lock out and go straight back down, pause for a second at the extended position, down at the bottom, and then come up, and make sure that you get a full stimulation of your quads. Try and reach failure around the 20 rep mark. The nylon straps mean that if you get to a point where you can't come up, you can go down, you can bail, leave the weight hanging, and you've achieved a good failure set. The next set we're going to do is going to be a set of sissy squats. These emphasize a deep stretch of the knee over the toe and give a really strong stimulation to the teardrop muscle on the inside of the knee, allowing you to achieve great knee stability and help protect your legs against kicks, give you good mobility in a extended position. So we're going to take the strap that we used for our safety strap, we're going to unclip it from the bar, and we're going to clip it to a belt. Wrap that belt around our waist, and we're going to put 2 blocks on the floor, step onto the blocks and lean back so that the belt becomes tight. Come up onto our tippy toes, and we're going to allow our knees to extend in front of us. Whilst we lean our weight back, we're going to stretch our quads as far as they'll go. When we're at our full extension and we've achieved the greatest stretch we can, we're going to pause for a second, and then we're going to push up, back, along the arc of the strap, allowing us to lean back and put all the emphasis on our quadriceps through our knee. We're then going to repeat this. We're going to do as many reps as we can, not too much weight on this one. When we get to the end of the sissy squats, we can't do any more reps. We're going to step forward, put our heels on the blocks. We're going to continue our set. We're going to carry on squatting, but this time we're going to squat straight down through our heels so our knees don't go so far forward and there's not such a heavy stretch on the teardrop muscle and on the front of the quadricep. We're just going to move the stress away from our knee and up into the thicker muscle at the top of our leg. We're going to carry on, and we're going to keep this going into failure at which point we're going to stop our set. We're then going to move on to extensions done with power bands. We're going to hook the power bands to the back of our bench, run them underneath and hook them onto our feet. Sit down on the front of the bench and we're going to kick our feet forward. This is going to allow us to achieve a large pump and a huge burn in the top of our quads. By kicking to the top and maintaining the contraction for a couple of seconds, we can achieve a massive stress on the muscles in the center of our quads, running down the center to the knee. And we can keep doing this up, 1, 2, 3, count, and down. Keep doing our reps until we reach full burnout on the quads, and this is going to fully tax the quadriceps and the muscles of the large muscles of the upper leg. The next exercise we're going to do is a stiff leg deadlift. We're going to set up a bar on the floor, reasonably heavy bar. We're going to approach him. We'll pick it up to our waist, making sure to keep our chest up and our back straight. We're going to straighten our knees. Then we're going to bend forward from the waist, keeping our back straight, keeping our knees straight, as if we're doing a hamstring stretch or a toe touch. We're going to bend forward until we feel the full stretch in our hamstrings, and then we're going to push our hips in and contract our hamstrings until we're almost upright, but we're not going to stand fully upright. We're going to keep the tension on our hamstrings. We're going to slowly stretch down into the stretch position again. We're going to repeat, and that's how we're going to perform our reps on our deadlift. We're going to maintain our straight back. We're going to try and keep the stress off our lower back and in our hamstrings and the back of our legs. We're going to do this to a point where we can't continue to failure. We're going to put the bar down, give a rest for a moment. Then we're going to pick the bar up and we're going to approach a block, and we're going to do standing calf raise, holding our bar. We're going to step the edges of the toes, the balls of the feet, onto the edge of the block, and we're going to come up onto our tippy toes. We're going to come back down, allowing our heels to come down past the block. As we come down, we're going to lean forward, trying to get a greater angle in our ankle and a greater stretch in our calf. Then we're going to spring back up onto our toe. We're going to do this until we can't do it anymore with the weight. Then we're going to step back, put the weight down, and immediately step back onto the block and continue our reps. A nice fast cadence, forcing more and more blood into our calves, getting the most stimulation we can in the calves and the back of our legs. And this is going to finish off a nice rounded leg day for full development of the legs. Then at the end, we're going to roll up the cuffs of our trousers to bare the skin of our shins, and we're going to do some round kicks on the bottom of the bag. Most compacted part of the bag, we're going to do low round kicks as if we're aiming at an opponent's knee or thigh, and we're going to see how it feels when our legs are fully taxed and it's very difficult for us, so that we can practice working these muscles when they're at their weakest, so that when they're at their strongest we can develop more power and a more efficient technique. And that's going to finish off a nice rounded leg day. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.